Hey guys, Wayne Sutton here, Prosper with Wayne. I'm here with Daniel Blue today on the Coach's Corner. So for all of my coaches, consultants, people that are training under us, grab a hold of this. Very, very important. Maybe you're not a coach, but maybe you want to discover how to control your own 401k, your own IRA programs, how to use your own money. And so I was honored to be able to meet Daniel and really talk about his company and what he's doing. And he's agreed to come on with us today and share with us. And so give us some information, because I know as an entrepreneur and one that help coaches, a lot of times there's no money available for that. We need to access our money, but I'm not old enough, Daniel. I can't get my money. It's my money, but they're going to penalize me. And I could do so much more, I believe, than the government's going to do with it. So thanks for jumping on board. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and love what you're doing, and hopefully can drop some good value on this call and shed some light to help some of the folks you're listening to kind of just be another tool in their tool belt as far as our services to help everyone make more money and maybe help out some more people.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, again, I'm just going to jump in and ask you some questions. Feel free. This is your time to share. Those who follow us on the podcast, I ask some tough questions, and I'm just going to lay it out, because this is what we got to know. We got to know what's our next right step. And so I'm going to talk about it, Daniel. When I left the corporate world, those who follow me in the coaching realm, when I left the corporate world to do full-time coaching, I have money. I still have money, but up that I can't really touch for another 13, 14 years, whatever it is. That's okay if I believe it's doing what it should be doing. But what if I needed that to expand my business? How can I touch that money without giving so much back to the government and fees and so forth? And so, man, I'm just going to turn it over to you. Tell us about your company. Tell us about you, and I guess how the program works if people want to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so I own a company called Quest Education, and we cater to business owners, people that are startups, that have existing companies. We help people that are going through the transition, leaving the corporate life and starting their own business. And we just really tackle a specific issue that's in the financial industry. And that's what you just talked about, is an IRA and a 401k. A lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth about those accounts, because they understand if they tap into those accounts, they're going to get nailed in penalties and taxes. So a lot of people have the mentality of, well, I can't access that money. And that's by design. I truly believe that the big financial companies, if you just kind of take a step back and look at the macro side of things, think about it. These big financial companies, they're the ones that donate millions and millions of dollars to Congress, right? And Congress turns around and passes these laws. It's in the best interest of these big financial companies like Fidelity, Vanguard, all these huge monster firms, to keep money under management, money in the IRA, in the 401k. They're making fees off of that money. So why would they want you to take money out of that account to fund your business or to pay off some debt? Why would they want you to control your own money? That's going to take money off of their books, right? They make 1%, 2% a year to manage your money, right? And what they're doing is they're just picking and choosing this stock, this mutual fund, and they don't want you to access that money. And we take a completely different approach. Quest Education, we don't sell investments. I'm not here to push this stock or this real estate investment. We sell the actual vehicle, the retirement account itself. And a retirement account that is super, super beneficial for folks is what's called a solo 401k. A solo 401k is a retirement account that allows you to invest your money wherever you'd like. You can control your own money. If you want to invest it into this private company, maybe a buddy's business, you can do that. If you want to buy this piece of property and rent it, have it turn into a rental, you can do that. If you want to buy this piece of property and flip it and sell it, you could do that. If you want to invest this money into your own business, you could do that. It allows you to actually pull money out of the account without paying that nasty 10, 20, 30% penalty, because that's what happens if you take money out of an IRA or 401k and you're under 59 and a half years old. There's a 10% early withdrawal penalty.
Yeah.
And then there's taxes you're going to pay on that money. right? Depending on your tax situation, that tax could be 20%, could be 30%. So we're talking, 20, 30, 40% in tax and penalties that you're going to pay accessing retirement dollars on your own versus a solo 401k. You don't have to pay those penalties, and it's self-directed. You get to control your own money.
So that's what a self-directed, I've heard you talk about self-directed retirement account. So it's basically a solo 401k.
Yeah, so the self-directed term is just descriptive. It just means that you can invest your money wherever you'd like, right? Yep. Inside the stock market, outside the stock market. There could be a self-directed IRA set up, and then there could be a self-directed 401k that's set up. When I talk about a solo 401k, that's a self-directed 401k. They're the same vehicle. A self-directed IRA is different. I'm not a huge proponent of an IRA because an IRA stands for individual retirement account. Anyone and everyone can set up an IRA. A 401k is associated with an employer, a business owner. And the IRS, as we all know, they treat business owners a lot different, right? They give you a lot more leeway on taxes, different tax breaks, different loopholes that you can take advantage of if you're a business owner. The same applies to retirement accounts. As a business owner, you can structure your retirement accounts in a unique way that benefits you a whole lot more than Joe, that's just a W-2 employee that has no ambitions in starting his own business and is not, a business owner.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So let me ask you, Daniel, when people come, because I work with coaches that have 20,000 to multiple millions in different accounts. Is there a time where somebody needs to leave it? Is it a time where they need to leave it alone and let the government do it? Or is it almost always better to move and do a self-directed?
It really just comes down to preference, right? Because ultimately the government just has the penalties if you touch the money, but they don't actually run the account. Who runs the account is Fidelity, Vanguard, MetLife, right? Morgan Stanley. Those are the people that actually charge you the fees and run your account, right? So if you're someone that likes the stock market, you don't ever want to veer away from the stock market. You don't ever see yourself taking money out of the account for whatever reason. Maybe the concept of taking money out of the account without paying penalties just doesn't push your buttons, doesn't appeal to you. Then great, you could just leave the money where it's at. There are some good companies out there that have low fees, like Vanguard, for example. They have low trade fees. Their mutual funds, their ETFs are generally pretty low in expense ratios and their annual fees. So if you're someone that just likes the stock market and that's it, and you don't ever want to access the money without paying the penalties, then it probably would serve you better to leave the account where it's at.
Yeah. So how about is there a certain number though? Let's say somebody came and said, I've got, I don't know, $50,000 in an account. Obviously, your educational company, there's fees and stuff. That's how you stay in business. Is there a certain number where you can say, hey, it's probably not worth this person to move? Or is there a minimum that you would recommend somebody coming in and looking at?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you are wanting to access money in the retirement account to, let's just say, pay off debt, or maybe you need $20,000 for a coaching program, right? You need some money for a coaching program. Then it wouldn't make sense to, let's just take a coach that's watching this, right? And they are talking to a prospect that has $50,000 in a retirement account. They could send that lead to me. I would convert that $50,000 into a solo 401k, and then they would be able to take out up to 50% of the account value, the balance, without paying the penalties.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right? So in that situation, that client would be able to take out $25,000 up to and buy some coaching, right? So if the client only has 5 or 10,000 or 15,000, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because just the numbers don't work out. So usually that sweet spot is 25, 30,000 and above, because it gives enough meat on the bone to have some value.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's good. I had no clue this was even available. So I appreciate you telling us. But how hard is it? How hard is it just, hey, I fill out some paperwork and you handle the rest? Or is there a long process like most things? How hard is it for somebody to set up an account with you?
Setting up the account is pretty easy peasy. I'm not a one-man show. I've got about 12 employees that I'm blessed to have. So we have a staff here that helps with everything. So the process would be, if Bob has an IRA with Fidelity he could roll over that money into a solo 401k with us. And we walked Bob through that whole process. We would set up the plan, facilitate everything, help with the paperwork. So we help out everything from A to Z. Okay. And so the process that takes a long time, not a long time, but a couple of weeks, isn't setting things up for my team. That's pretty easy peasy. What takes some time is Fidelity, the financial company that's holding the money, to actually release those funds and get it moved over. They're going to want to naturally sit on that money, right? Because they're making fees off of it. So that's what does take, multiple weeks to get it moved over. But as far as maintaining the plan and doing what's necessary to keep it open, it's really no different than the current retirement account that they have right now. Only difference is it's just going from one vehicle to another vehicle. Best way to explain it is the vehicle that they have their money in right now probably doesn't have automatic windows, probably doesn't have GPS, right? Doesn't have a lot of those functions, right? The vehicle that we'll set up with them, has a lot of those features that would serve them well.
Okay, so somebody comes and said, "Hey, I've got 100,000, and I want to take, let's say, 20 out for either a coaching program or 20,000 out to invest in my son's pizza shop. My son's a chef, so I'm thinking, but the other 80, what am I going to do with the other 80? So do you help them as far as where to invest that or what to do with the other percentage?"
So one thing is, because this is a self-directed account, there is no financial advisor. So we don't manage the account. They would actually pick and choose where the investment is. But let's run with that scenario. They move 100,000 with us. They take out 20,000 to buy a coaching program. The other 80,000 that's left over, at that point, we just play the role of their quarterback. We just get on the phone with them and just say, okay, you got this $80,000. What's next, right? Maybe they want to have stocks. They could have the same investments that they had before. They could have Apple stock or an ETF through Vanguard. Great. We can just facilitate that for them. Their solo 401k can be in the stock market. Maybe they want to do some real estate. Great. They could do real estate investments. So at that point, we're just their quarterback. We're just there to run whatever play call they want to run.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome, man. I want to say thank you for sharing this. There's so many, working with coaches, working with entrepreneurs. There's so many that go, hey, I don't have the resources. It's a common, even outside of coaching, when I'm dealing with other entrepreneurs, they have the idea, they have the game plan, but they don't have the money because they're either working a job and trying to move into full time, or they've got a retirement account, but they're 45 years old. The day of becoming 65 and then starting a business because you're retired. We've got kids at 25 and 30 years old now that have got businesses and they're moving forward. And like myself, I'm 46 and I've got money set aside in individual retirement accounts that if I needed to move, you're right. I just thought it was impossible. So, any other thoughts for people that are listening? Obviously, I want them to go over to your website, yourquest.com. Is there another way for them to get in touch with you? Is that the easiest way, or?
Yeah, that's the easiest way. There's a contact form on the website where they can put in their information, and then my team would reach out to them and walk them through the steps to help them understand exactly where we could provide value. I'm pretty active on Facebook. I do a lot of content creation there, so that's a good way to stay in touch with me. I do use LinkedIn as well. So the main thing that I hear a lot is, man, how come no one told me this before? How come, my financial advisor never told me this before? Is this like a scam? Is this something that, is some shady stuff? Guys, this is a good old fashioned 401k that I'm talking to you about. It's just a 401k for an employer, for a business owner, which happens to most likely be you, right? If you are getting 1099 income, if you have an LLC, if you have an S Corp, C Corp, or you have intentions on starting a business, then you can set up a solo 401k. You don't have to be making money to have a solo 401k. Because think about it, not all companies are generating revenue, right? Sure. That's just the way it works. So you can set up a solo 401k if you meet that criteria. And this isn't some secret retirement account that just came out last year. This is just a good old fashioned 401k that's in your business's name. It's in your name. You have full control over it. The IRS approves these plans. This is just not talked about because of what I talked about at the beginning of this call, where the financial companies out there, these financial advisors, they're making commissions off you. They're making fees off of you. It's not in their best interest to teach you a retirement account that would put the control in your court, that would allow you to pull money out without paying penalties. They want you to be conditioned to think, oh, I can't touch that money till I'm 60. Well, out of sight, out of mind. I can't touch that money. That's what they want, because then they know they're just going to be collecting fees year after year. Yeah. And we help people all the time where, as you mentioned earlier, maybe their credit isn't where it needs to be. Maybe they just don't have enough cash in the bank to start a business, but they have this retirement account that they didn't think they can tap into. Or maybe they have good credit and they could use their own cash just to invest into coaching, right? But maybe they just want to leave that cash for a rainy day. Maybe they don't want to use credit cards to pay for coaching. Maybe they're like, shoot, my retirement account's only making me 5% a year, 6% a year. I can make a lot more if I use the money over here.
Yeah. And I hear that a lot. A lot of people, why would I invest in this if I can make 30, 40% return on my own money? Yeah. But having that access to that's amazing. So Daniel, I want to say thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Once somebody comes on board with you and the transaction's done, you set up that account, do you offer further education, or is there any other services you offer?
Yeah. So I've got customers that have been with us for 4 or 5 years, and we do quarterly account reviews. We just find any way that we can build value, right? A lot of my customers, they need help with tax consulting, LLC, prep work. All right, great. We've got a company that we work with. We can help you out there. You know, I've had clients that need SBA loans, term loans for their businesses. All right, great. We can help you out over here. I've had clients that need help with estates and trusts and wills. All right, great. We've got this company that we've aligned ourselves over here. So we do quarterly account reviews with our customers, just to making sure that they're happy campers and educating them on, hey, maybe there's a time where you want to add more to the solo 401k. Solo 401k, you can contribute up to $56,000 per year. You get a lot of tax benefits when you put money into the 401k. So there's just a lot to talk about. This isn't a one-call thing where we set up the account and then we say, hey, best of luck, you're on your own. I've got a whole department on this side of the office where they handle the ongoing maintenance and the admin and the customer service side of things.
So up to $56,000. That's something a lot of people need to listen to. If you've got cash flow coming in, you need to make sure, get in touch with Daniel. Get in touch with him. So Daniel, I've only known you a little while, but I'm enjoying. Number one, I'm enjoying being able to do this podcast. Number two, we're definitely going to do business together, me and you. And so I love what you're doing. Guys, if you have questions for Daniel, you can type in comments below if you're looking at this in most formats. If this is on iTunes or Podbean or somewhere, then just reach out, yourquest.com. And again, it's Daniel Blue. Also, be sure to pick up your book, lifecoachlifestyle.com. If you're not a coach, or you are a coach and you're not at 6 figures a year, that is what we're going to do. We're going to give you a platform. We're going to give you the marketing. We're going to give you everything to get you to $10,000 a month as quick as possible, helping change the lives of other people. The book's free. Read it. Get an understanding of what we do and how we do it. Last but not least, I do not hide. I pick up my phone, 910-233-2511. Now, I do get a lot of phone calls and I do a lot of coaching. So if you reach me, send me a text message first. If you can't reach me, I will call you back. But we are here to help you. So again, 910-233-2511, lifecoachlifestyle.com. And I just want to take again another minute and say thank you, Daniel. This has been very informative. This is going to definitely help a lot of people. I talk to everyday people that are looking funding, and that's not even an option in their mind, that they could actually have it themselves. So anything else that you'd like to share before we part ways?
True, man. We need some more people like you in this world that are giving education, giving back. That's the best way to grow and scale and help more people. So more people that you can help, then the bigger impact that you're going to have. And it's just funny how this world works out, where you just give and it just always comes back. So love what you're doing, man, and impacting others. And in any way that I can help the group out. And you're right. I'm looking at it as I'm just a tool in the coach's tool belt, right? You know, they're helping people where, shoot, if they have cash, if they have credit cards, they can work with them. Awesome. Don't want to step on any toes, but this could be just another source to get capital for people in a manner that they didn't even think was possible. So it doesn't hurt to have as many options as you can on the table.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of our coaches, there's not only a coaching fee, but then the people we help them with ideas and implementation, which they need more cash. So thanks again, Daniel. We're going to definitely be in touch. And guys, I want to thank you all for jumping on the broadcast today. If you're looking at this on Facebook, hit the share button, follow us, YouTube, subscribe to us. And as always on iTunes, thank you for your ratings. And we're here again to bring you everything that you need to be a coach, getting paid well to transform lives. Thanks, guys.